Okay, my friends, so here we have more clean up work for us to do at our houses, apartments, businesses, schools. Okay, some more ideas on how to do things. Have a great day. Take care. Okay, so let's say a few words about bags. We're still doing the house cleanup. Okay, all right. So for example, this bag here have words that we don't want, have drawings that we don't want. But if it's what the family has, please keep it. The others can be sent to a thrift store until new ones arrive to every family. Okay, this got even the name of a company on the side. So what you're gonna do? You keep. You need a few because if we are moving, what you're gonna do? You are going to use those bags for clothes, for bed sheets or towels, the basic items, right? You're gonna leave pants, but if you're going to a place that do not have them, use the ones you need, okay? What I want to say is do not trash them. Any bag, even they are this synthetic cotton inside, that's not the best. Keep them all, don't throw any bag. So if they have soft or strong holders, right, straps, keep them all, even though they have a little black. All right, this is important because maybe your neighbor, someone from that community. We are going to have the cleanup, going to have a place for all children's clothes, all older children's clothes, and all teens and adults. Teens and adults because for adult size. Some teens are already big and strong, and some teens, they're not so big yet. They go for older children. So we're gonna have this selection of clothes, and for every residential community. Okay. So people can look, families that don't have, they're gonna stay there for a week. They can put in or take out something they don't want anymore. They put inside there, these locations without rain. In a covered area or a specific room at the clubhouse or somewhere, each community gonna have a place. Or in an apartment that's not being used, gonna be used for people to share things. Kitchen items, clothes, towels, bed linen, existing ones, because we're going to use everything we have. It's very important, right? So clothes and all these other items, linens, fabrics, okay? All right. And then we are going to have, I think, about a week. So we have 2 weeks clean up, right? So 1 week of those items, people are going to clean up their homes. And then I think it's sustainable for them to have 1 more week at each residential community for them to be sharing and put in or take out if they need. All right? I think that's good, sustainable. For buckets, please, my friends, keep all the buckets you have. All the buckets, big, small, with paint, without paint, keep them all because they're very used for many different things. For holding water, for bringing water to the gardens, for washing places, until you have proper hoses and proper sprinklers and everything else. All right? Keep them all. The other thing, it's for containers, already said, plastic containers, keep them all. All right? For furniture, that's not the best. You need something, right? So you're gonna keep what? Your table, not couches, but the table, even that's not the appropriate one, the eating table, you're gonna keep, and chairs, because you have to sit and eat, right? Or sit and study. You need that. But for couches, you can only keep, for example, a chair that's sustainable. If you have a very elder that's catching up, and that's okay to keep one until the new ones arrive, the proper ones. But not whole couches for whole families to be sitting down, because that's not sustainable. Okay? Beds that are not sustainable can go out right away. That's already decided. Furniture that's not approved on the videos already placed, the videos from the thrift store, all gone. We don't need those. If approved, they can stay. And they already go out. So only if you have a very elder is what? 80 years old and above. Let's put 70 years old and above. You can keep one chair for that elder to sit comfortably when is needed, right? Because they're going to start learning and everything, or for a pregnant mother until a better, proper, approved rocking chair is delivered. But if it's a chair, a proper chair, comfortable chair, type of couch, right? A soft one, but not a love seat or a couch with 3 seats or 4 seats or long seats or many seats. Okay? All right. Now, if you have a table that's a folding table, that's attachable, folding tables in different ways, you can keep them. Okay, until more details will be placed online at the organization launching day. Because we're going to need some, for some different outside activities, because some places don't even have a clubhouse. So we're going to use them for registration, for meetings, because some people might not even have yet clipboards to get signatures or things. So it's good to have a table, all right? Or small wooden boards, or people that have clipboards, please keep them, because for meetings, for sign-ups, we can use them. Okay? Until the organization launching day, you're going to have more details, and with time, you're going to be looking at those details. So, for example, if you have high seats made in wood, and that's the only thing you have at the house, let me think. It's 100% wood, and if you used to eat in a high counter, for example, keep them until the new ones arrive, because it's better eating a high counter with high benches instead of on the floor every day, right? So for a few things like that, you can keep a few until best ones arrive. All right, for carts, so for like we say, fresh market carts, let me show here for you to have an idea. So are those types over here. So if you have something like that, you can keep. That's fine, okay? Because we're going to use those things right now until we have deliveries coming to every community once a week for perishable. You go to supermarket, so you can have, if it's an elder, can use that, okay? And if it's people, families with age until, let's say, 60, 65, right? They're going to carry on their shoulders, all right? But yeah, I think that's good. 65 and older can use that for laundry or for supermarket until more information will be given at the organization launching day. So here's what I said. For buckets, keep them all. Okay? All right. So for family use, we are not keeping those purses that are not sustainable, not approved. But every family needs one, right? So here's an example. For example, if you don't have the cotton one that I mentioned, that's sustainable for your family, mine is very thin, don't even have a side. You see? That 10 centimeters I talk about for the jeans bags, because you're not having white ones. The new one's going to be dark blue because they're more sustainable. They don't show you stains and so on. But if you don't have the cotton ones, you're going to see each family needs at least one bag. So if you don't have those yet either, like those plastic ones, to go to a park or location, you're gonna keep the best one. So let's say you have one like that. You keep that's what you got. You keep, because you need to go to parks. You need to put some. Depends, if you don't have drinking water at the park, you need a place to put, right? And already discard and send to the recycle center the ones that are not sustainable, okay? Because rather have something like that for up to, I think, 4 weeks, right? In 4 weeks gonna start being delivered. So why that one? Because that one is open, for example, okay, and don't have much metal. So I think up to 4 weeks from the organization launching day, that's fine. If you have backpacks without logos, or if the logo is really small, then you can keep. If the logo is really big, or if, with anything negative, you're gonna already send out with that first week of cleanup, okay? So every family can keep, I think, after they move, of course, can keep one backpack for them to go to the park. If they don't have those things, for example, until the organization launching, they're going to have more information about backpacks. Keep your backpacks if they don't have big logos and if they don't have bad drawings. Because, for example, if one family got 4, right, but maybe a neighbor in that same community got none, okay, so we're going to share. All right, so people can have bags so they can go to places, have fun on Sundays, right? Okay, I think we're doing great, my friend. So all those basic ideas. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about your office, right? So if you have a few color pencils, just a very few like that, those are mine. But anyways, you can keep them in a simple plastic like this, that came with fruits. That I've been keeping them for a few months now, like that, my little things. That's my little office table there in a box. Okay, so you can keep them like that, or you can keep the pencils in a jar, right? Like a strong cup mug, right? Or a jar like this, if it's in a strong glass, that's okay, right? Away from little children, of course. Okay, just keep your very simple things that you need, important, right? The best as possible. Okay, until the organization send, proper products, the ones that are already established for each location, keep what you already have. So if you have an old brush like that, use it, for nails or for washing the bathroom. Use what you have. Do not dispose them. Use what you have until the end. Really well. Save, save, save. Okay, because we're learning how to do that. And wait for proper instructions, because some of them might be worth it to recycle now, but some of them you can use until the end, until you get new ones. Okay, so if you have a container like this, for example, came food in it, all right, came cauliflower in it, so you can use even with that. Why? Because when you close the seedlings, instead of bags, that's an option for sprouting that you can put in a heat with sun or without sun according to the instructions. So this is a good idea as well, instead of only plastic bags, to sprout things if needed, of course, like areas that still a little cold, okay, or if you don't have other options. So this is something you can do, okay, instead of plastic bags. All right, so make sure you have as soon as possible ginger, turmeric, garlic, and all those things that are very healthy. They are antibacterial, they are anti-inflammatory. So make sure you have, according to what's grown in your area, make sure you have those things as soon as possible, okay? All right, and for example, you have something like that, and you have something like that, or the bulky ones. You're always gonna keep the ones that are not bulky, Because the bulky ones, they might have chips in it, you don't even know about, people are hearing what you talk, and this, we're gonna focus only on our house cameras, okay? So choose the best option, the most stronger one, of course, or if you have money, go ahead and purchase a good one, okay? So this one is a strong one to put in your pants clip for your keys of the house or your business, until you have the ones that are made with like hotels with fingerprint, okay? Just do your cleanup, and only father and mother got the key. One key for both, because they have to walk together at all times. Okay, they have to be together from the notice day. You know, they have what, let's say maybe up to 4 days. So, or the wife gonna be working with the husband, or the husband gonna be working the wife. They have to figure out. I think 4 days sustainable. If they need more time, they're gonna tell the person that sent them the notice, the organization volunteer, or they're already gonna send, if that information, if available, they're going to send at the Peace app. Okay, all right. So choose your best option, your best ring, the most strong one and durable one, and put your key right there, your house key. Okay, save all the batteries, take them out. For all the ones you can do already, take them out, because so it won't give so much work for people from the recycle center. So from everything you can already take those batteries out. So for iPads, iPods, and for tablets, laptops, everything, we are not going to keep at the houses. We are only going to keep cell phones for the adults, 21 years old and older. Up to 20, no one gonna have them. All right? If they live with their parents, like the 21 years old and 22 until their birth, of course, they can have a cell phone if they're married. Otherwise, if they live with their parents, they cannot have a cell phone for themselves. Okay? Each family gonna keep the best cell phones they have. Couples can have one for each at the beginning, yes. At the organizational launching day, we're gonna say how long they can keep one for each, because we are all learning. People are gonna be learning English, gonna be learning about the organization, gonna be checking videos and things like that, right? And maybe couples, you know, it's so much easier for them to have each one a different one. And one can be learning English, the other, you know, focus on English, the other one can be already writing or typing this or that. Okay, all right. So we're gonna say at the organization launching day when we're going to start having only one cell phone for both, for husband and wife. Okay, all right. So the other thing is that for clothes, for example, right? So we have some shirts. The ones, even old ones, but that do not have a logo or words or sentence, they're gonna have priority to be kept instead of those other ones. All right? And make a selection, have an idea how many you need, which ones you need, and send to recycle center the bad ones. The good ones, without logo, without stripes, without plaid, you know, all these other patterns, and rainbow patterns and everything else, so that can be used by other families for this transitional time. Follow the instructions that I posted on the thrift store, you know, more details there, and send to them. Okay? All right. All items with electric cords, you're gonna cut them. Okay, you're gonna cut them except for blenders. All right, but for everything else, coffee makers, rice makers, bean makers, toasters, waffle makers, all those things, what you're gonna do, you're gonna cut the wire right there, sharp on the on the machine, right? And put them in a transparent plastic bag, all the cords, so we don't have cords around and trucks and things like that. Why I said with exception of the blenders? Because some blenders gonna be used, and at the organization launching day we are going to say how they're gonna be used, when, and so on. Because some blenders can be used for making soap, right? You're gonna need the homemade soap at the adult education centers, few things like that, for paint, school paint. So we're going to wait and make more studies on where we still can use the blender. So do not cut wires from the blender. Wrap them around, tuck them in, the wire, tuck them in and sand like that, because we're gonna use them all for something, okay? And then instructions will be given. Okay, so I think we're doing great. Let's see what's next. Okay, so let's keep saying a few words for house cleanup, business cleanup, classroom, schools cleanup. Okay, so if you do not have a blower on the bathrooms, business site, right, educational site, you work there. You can have a little towel like that, 20 by 20, cotton, to dry your hands. So you won't be leaving, using paper towel the best as possible, right, until the new blowers are installed. Okay, all right. And also, if you are working before the organization launching day, if you're working in a location, volunteering in a location, have your little towel, use with your spouse on those places, okay? All right. But if you're going to clean up trash, of course, you're not bringing such a thing in your bag. Use the paper towels, because that are more hygienic than carrying things, carrying weight. So it depends on what you're doing. All right. If you have seasoning, okay, seasoning of any type, you can use the ones you have. First, you're gonna use the ones that are not so healthy. For example, the ones with many blendings and things, and keep the other ones, or the ones that can last longer, right, until the end of the organization launching day. Until the end of the 28 weeks, sorry. After the 28 weeks, we're gonna tell which ones you can keep or not, because some are really valuable, like this one, turmeric. So turmeric, garlic with salt, those things we can use after, but not the ones with many mixtures. No, that we can't use. We have to use as soon as possible until the end of the 28 weeks. All right, for seasoning, we are not putting them in radiation. So for example, this one here is a non-irradiated seasoning, right, turmeric. This one had coriander and lemon with it. Okay, because we can, if it's root, we can already use them to plant, and we don't need to irradiate anything. As soon as possible, we are going to plant those. All right. For turmeric, garlic, ginger, and some other types of roots gonna be listed. All production gonna be sent to, also spirulina, chlorella, things are very good. Chia, flaxseed, for omega, walnuts and other nuts, Brazilian nuts, gonna be sent out on those 2 weeks the best as possible to countries that do not have them and need them the most, okay? Because that we're learning how to share. Why is that? Because we still can have planes and the last ships, if they can arrive until 2 weeks, right? For the last trip, not many trips, but for the last trips, or they can reach the continent, at least the following continent, and the rest can be sent by trucks or trains. Why is that? Because we want to give everything to everyone, that's very important, the best as possible. Same as fruits, for example, that goes to other continents. Because locally they already have, so that's fine. So for example, California has a lot of oranges, right? So they're gonna be sending out first to other people and then keep to themselves. It's just an example. Okay, Mexico has a lot of varieties of fruits, vegetables. So what they're gonna do? Send the most as possible to the places that they are already selling, to the furthest place, and then they can get narrowing down until they are only their own country, and after that they follow directions for state. Okay, so those are just simple examples. If you have batteries, what you're gonna do, put them all together in a box or in a transparent bag. Transparent bag, no box, sorry, transparent bag. If you don't have transparent, use what you want to have, because it's going to be easy for people at the recycle center to see if there are batteries, new or used. All right, so we're not going to do things like that. Use a big piece of paper, this is a flashcard, with a little note. We're not going to do that, okay? We're going to use the best as possible every paper we have. If the paper is plain white, like this one, you can cut in pieces and add to your compost bin. If they have lines, you know, if the lines are really soft, it's okay, no problem. You can put them in the composter if it's a little bit. But if it's written a lot of words with this ink that we don't even know what they have on them, you go ahead, cut them out and put far away or low, you know, down low, lower in the ground, where the edible plants will be planted, not by the fruit trees. Okay, so if you have things like that, you know, like this is a little thing from the trees, and or if you have the, like I said earlier, from mahogany, the seeds or the things, you know, you can bring back to nature. If this is the case, you can bring back to nature. And for children, young children, up to 4th grade, let's say, just keep one basket, 1 or 2 baskets of natural things, or all your natural things, until the organization launching day with more explanation, because you're going to share the community you have and give the rest to the thrift store, right? If they're good, like Waldorf inspired toys, let's say, wooden toys, you know, things like that. Okay, if you have children's drawings, you have to keep the ones the best as possible, right? Because we're gonna also learn how to study those drawings. So, and you already, as a parent or as a teacher, already guide your students to don't make monsters, because sometimes that's what they learn, how they did. Very thick people or very thin people, like stick guys, right? So you're gonna guide them according to the organization information to make the most as possible people that look like people, not stick guys and not very fat people as well. Okay? All right. So if you have brushes for bathroom nails, like I said, keep the ones you the best as possible, and wait for information online. Okay, every family gonna need some receipts. So if you have any receipt from the library or from a place you went, just keep them, because you're gonna glue them, and you need to register organization, and even to come to conference, you're gonna need your last receipt. Keep all your receipts printed. And as soon after the organization launching day, machines gonna start to have sent to emails, because we're gonna need a checkout. We don't know exactly for how long, so we have people to have that information, that when they arrive to their new location. So we're gonna need this detail from receipts. even for places that not going to charge anything after the notice day, you know, like everything gonna be free and people only gonna get what they really need, that's fine. But we are going to need receipts, or printed or send straight to emails that people can add them up, right, and send to the family registration documentation. We're all gonna need receipts, maybe for the whole 28 weeks. I guess that's the most reasonable, right? So proper details on that gonna be given at the organization launching date, our website. Okay? All right, so we're doing great. So what else? If this 2 weeks adjustment or 4 weeks, make a few notes to your children. If you're leaving, say good morning. You know, I'm going to the library, I'm going to the supermarket, I'm going, you know, for your older children, of course. In my case, they're teens most of the time. And do the best you can for these transitional days, all right? Because it's gonna be 2 weeks at home. All stores are gonna be closed for those 2 weeks for people to focus on their house cleanup. Trucks gonna be sent on proper days to pick up those different items on different days, right? Or morning and afternoon. So people need to be home, with exception, of course, of that drivers that gonna work only 5 hours in the morning, and other ones gonna work 5 hours in the afternoon, so the trucks can keep going in that county. All right, so if you have paper clips like this one here, we are not going to purchase anymore, so use them well. But if you're a teacher, you cannot give them to any student in any assignment. You can staple, that's fine. For example, those 4 best tests, staple and send them home, okay? With a little piece of paper like that, you know, maybe 4 by 4 or so, 4 best tests. Put the name of the child, staple, send home, and done, okay? All right. When you think the organization launching day is approaching, just already go ahead and get those done, those 4 tests. And don't even send more home if you think it's not really worth it. For example, suddenly a child did spectacularly, then it's okay. Otherwise, don't bother. Don't, you know, that's an improvement. Of April 10th, 2022, that's an improvement. Okay? All right. So the other thing, you're gonna already do your work orders. If you rent, if you own, you know, to the person in charge up to that day. So you're gonna make all details send out as officially asked at this time by email or by a note, or dropping off a note, or stepping by the office, whichever day you have at your own residential community. Your work orders. Okay, so I need patching here, need painting there, until at the organization launching, they're gonna have a whole list with all items to be checked. Okay, so we are going to do online or in a piece of paper or both. I'm gonna let you know afterwards, because it needs to be done really properly, and all items gonna be checked. Need new paint, need new light, new fan, needs solar panels, need AC, central AC, needs heater. There's a whole huge list with many little boxes right on the front of each sentence for you to check it out. Okay, so for communities that people already have their cell phones, it's going to be done online, okay, in a simple way. For other places that in some poor areas or some counties people don't even have cell phones, it's going to be done a piece of paper. All right, okay. For those that are moving, they have to fill them up, if it's possible, of course, before they move out, or the new family will fill them up. Okay? All right. So let me see what else we have. For everything that they did and did not complete, you have to send a new note, okay? And for every job that is completed, you're gonna have a survey. How was the job? You know, with like 4 questions or so you have to answer. As a resident, you have to answer. Like, the job was totally completed, yes or no? What day and time the job was completed. So for the time, it's not mandatory to be answered because maybe it was not at the house. But you're gonna check the item if that item was completed. Okay? All right. So the other thing is for plastic badges that are stiff or soft. So that's another thing. You're gonna use the one you already have. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, the cover. You're gonna use the one you already have because that's the most sustainable. And for new ones, for all educational sites, gonna be just the card itself, without, like for example, this one here, okay, gonna be without the cover, just the card, you know. So because we won't need, they're gonna be a little thicker, have a hole far away from the edge, so they're never gonna crack. And the pin, as I showed you here, the pin, right, gonna be a little inwards, this pin here, this metal pin. But do not order them without the proper instructions at the organization website, because it's going to be all detailed, all proper formatted, and with the barcode and everything, all these details, picture that are not dark. We need to see the face of the person really well, you know, good pictures. But for now, use what you got, okay, until the new ones arrive. So for a school that only had the lanyards, then it's okay, you can go ahead and buy this very simple clip, you know, because you might take a few weeks for new ones arrive. But do not use the lanyards, the string, do not use them. Go ahead and purchase them. This metal clip with the little flap here, you see, you know, and the pin, so you can go around and use them. Okay, all right. The bracelet for all educational sets, for everyone, right, that's gonna be placed and given to people with a proper number in it and everything, that's scanned everywhere you go. The one I found here in a construction area is $12. We're trying to still get most cheapest as possible and already start giving to people as soon as we can. So those permanent bracelets gonna stay with everyone. I think for 10 years is the sustainable time for now. If needed, we are going to let you know afterwards, according to our security team, right, volunteers that's gonna give feedback on about that. So we can keep until from now for 20 years, right, until 2040. So we're gonna give better details on that afterwards. All right? Okay. So, but everyone gonna have that bracelet because we have to see where people are, you know, so we can get track and all related to their peace points. Because as I said, we're not going to use money anymore. We're going to use points. People should travel, to go on field trips and everything else. What they need good grades at their school. They need to learn English. They need to improve their English. And they need to be great at English and everything else. All right, according to their age group. All right, my friends, we're doing really great. Thank you so much for your participation. Talk to you soon.